He was an ordinary boy, not a genius, not a prodigy, just a quiet soul. Afraid of being seen, he would lower his head in class, praying the teacher wouldn't pick him. Why? Because speaking in English felt like walking barefoot on broken glass. One day, the teacher asked, "Can you read this paragraph?" He stood up. Hands trembling, the boy walked. The class burst into laughter. That sound, louder than any insult. After that day, he stopped trying, stopped raising his hand, stopped believing, but somewhere inside, a small spark stayed alive. He saw people in suits, speaking English confidently, living lives full of respect, and he whispered to himself, "One day, I want that too." So he studied hard, books became his world, he dreamed of lifting his family out of struggle, he topped his exams, and finally, it was time for his first interview. New shirt, polished shoes, hope in his eyes. The manager smiled. "Introduce yourself," in English. His lips moved, but the words didn't. I am from I like to. Silence, a soft chuckle from across the table, then came the sentence that burned into his chest, "We're looking for someone more polished." He nodded, got up, walked out, and that day, he didn't just lose a job, he lost a piece of himself. That evening, he skipped dinner, skipped conversations, skipped living. He stared at the ceiling, hearing those words. Stand in front of a mirror and say, "You can do this." Again. And again, he made hundreds of mistakes, stumbled, mispronounced, but never stopped. He built his own school, inside a small, silent room, every day, 10 new words, every night, 10 spoken lines, and slowly, the fear in his chest started shrinking. He wasn't fluent, not yet, but he was no longer afraid. He applied again, and again, some rejected, some ignored. But one startup said yes. He wasn't perfect in English, but his work ethic was unmatched, first to arrive, last to leave. He didn't gossip. He learned, didn't complain. He grew, he helped build the company brick by brick, and one day, he stood at the top, not because of his English, but because of his courage. Years later, he stood on stage, addressing a room full of leaders. His English flawless, his confidence unshakable. He looked at the crowd and said, "They rejected me. Not because I wasn't capable, but because I didn't fit their idea of confidence, but I built my own version." And somewhere in that room, sat a familiar face, the same man who once rejected him. Now, he stood up and clapped. Moral: